Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. Today is our final day of the 21-day webinar, Awaken Your Spiritual Neurons Empire Challenge. Today is a very exciting day. For me, actually, it's very exciting because besides this 21-day challenge, that I've been doing, I also did, and today, this morning, I complete a 21-day challenge on a running performance. And basically, what I did was, just run for 21 days every day at 3 o'clock in the morning for 2 miles. That's it, just to improve my physical condition. And what we're going to talk about today, which is our last series, is about getting our hands into action. That means we have to take our sleeves, you know, put them up and start making things happening for ourselves. And this is something that, of course, I'm talking not only to you, but I'm talking also, to myself. There are a couple of things, and I guess the best way to to describe the title for today is how can we achieve expanding our consciousness? Okay, how can we pass from reading the book, reading and getting knowledge, and then applying that knowledge to our benefit? And one of the things that, of course, I have found interesting is basically, challenge ourselves. That's the way that things work. I mean, nothing is, of course, in, and you need to understand that in spiritual awakening, nothing is given as a, as something that like falls from the sky or something like that. No, you have to actually go and get it, right? You need to awake. That's what expanding your consciousness is getting aware, right? That you have potentials, that you have uh, at least 100 trillion of possible connections in which you can do and you can create whatever you want. You can actually change whatever you want. You can reinvent whatever things you want, right? So what I want you to think in terms of making things happen, and here's the thing. Okay, there is a little secret that I'm going to share with you in case you haven't noticed. Right, this 21-day challenge, it's been a challenge for me to gather everything that I have learned, that I am actually sharing, not only from the spiritual perspective, but also from the practical perspective. You will notice that all of my videos, right? I mean, they're not very good videos, to be honest. I know that. I mean, it's like I know that I can actually do better. But what we are looking for in making, changes, remember that we are a process, but in order to pass through the process, we want to be able to make progress, not look for perfection. This is key in any um, any change that you're looking to do in your life, right? You need to make sure, and I'm telling you this because something that I've been uh, working a lot is precisely, on not being perfect, not punish myself by being perfect, but by being progressive, like being persistent every single day, take a little step to get into what I want. So maybe, and you're going to take your notes, right? You're going to start practicing, you're going to put in practice actually, a 21-day challenge. And I think that the best way for you to start making your own 21-day challenge is to start thinking. This is another thing. Think on what is that you really want to change. What do you want to transform in your life? You're gonna write it in a piece of paper, right? Maybe in the book that you have that I told you that uh, or that I suggested, that you had, so you can write notes on these webinars. And what you're going to do is imagine for a moment, what do you want to transform and why is it important to you? Maybe you want to change up, an old habit. Maybe you want to change um, from an environment. Maybe there's an attitude that it's preventing you from moving forward. Maybe you want to start your own business, okay? Or maybe you want to make a travel, a trip, who knows, whatever. You want to be able to do something that is important and meaningful to you, okay? But the key thing here is that whatever it is that you're going to do, right? You need to find a way, and this is the other part of the 21-day challenge, which means planning it, right? I mean, you're just not jump into a 21-day challenge and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. No, plan it. Sit with a piece of paper again and plan what is it that you're going to accomplish in those 21 days. How is it that you're going to do it, right? In order to achieve it. And not only that, is what are you going to do in case that you find resistance? Okay, that's why it is called challenge, because you are going to face resistance. Okay, one of the things that I have learned from all this 21-day process that I've been passing through is that every single day I had faced some sorts of resistance. Maybe distractions come in the way. Maybe your ego starts, you know, um, getting into defensive mechanisms of defense to distract you from what you want to achieve. Maybe it is your own invasive thoughts, right? They're going to come. And you have to be ready. You have to be aware. This is something that we talked about yesterday. We have to be aware of those um, possible villains, or those possible uh, shadows that are going to appear in the middle of your journey into transformation, right? So it's not going to be easy. Here's the thing, right? You need to understand that success, whatever it is that you're looking for, is not going to come easy to you and to anybody, right? I mean, somebody actually yesterday, my mentor actually sent me an email yesterday regarding something about success, that it makes all sense, right? Success does not come on a silver tray. You have to get your feet and go out and get it, right? So that is why Awaken Your Spiritual Neurons Empire is using your talents, using your skills, using everything that you have in your hands, your creativity, your visualization, your mentalization. We talked about that in the book, right? And use all those things as tools. Use it as something in your favor to make things happen, right? Because you already discovered that you have potential. You already discovered that you have, the tools to make your life much better than what you are currently passing through, right? So it's important for you to understand that you can do this. You can actually get into whatever it is that you want to overcome, right? I'm not talking about just like habits. I'm talking about anything that you want to achieve, right? If you're willing to make the effort, right? If you're willing to fight for what you want, and if you're willing, not only that, but if you're willing to be aware of the resistance and go through the resistance to make things happen, right? I'm pretty sure that you're going to make it happen. I'm telling you, I just completed 21 days straight of, running 2 miles a day. I don't consider myself like a super, hyper, mega runner, but there is a purpose in that. And the purpose is because in the future, I want to run marathons, and I also want to run an Ironman. But of course, in order to get there, I need to train. I need to make myself physically conditioned in order to get to do that. So I have to start by chunks. I have to start making little progress in order to get there. So what I did with this short distance running is uh, gaining momentum on my body and in my mind. And at the same time, I worked on improving by seconds, every day, just a little bit, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, improving my times. That's all I did, right? Um, and I achieved my objective, right? Your 21-day challenge, you need to understand that it doesn't have to be something gigantic, start transforming yourself with little things at the time. Something that you need to know is that when you actually moving into transforming or transcending or changing something that you want to change in your life, right? Go gradual. Start with little things, right? Test yourself with things that you can actually achieve, right? So, having said that, right, the all the things I'm going to give you actually a list of a couple of things that I want you to start taking into account, because this is going to be, of course, this is going to be the final series of this challenge. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to continue having contact or talking about transforming ourselves, right? What I want you to experience today as your very last 21 day is, first of all, I want you to get ready for you to experience by yourself something that you want to do in the next 21 days. You don't have to start tomorrow, right? You can start in 1 week, you can start, in 2 weeks, whenever you feel ready that you want to do that, because I want you to think also in the time that you're going to need to plan your 21-day challenge, right? Remember, I told you, you need to actually sit with a piece of paper and you need to actually write it down. You need to plan it, right? So you're going to write in your book or in a piece of paper. You're going to write, first of all, what do you want to achieve, right? And here's the thing, right? You're going to put also a date in which you're going to start. You're going to count in your calendar 21 days straight, right? So you're going to put the date that you are going to commit, that you're going to start your challenge, and the date that you're going to finish your challenge. When you put in your what is it that you're going to do, right? It's always good to write sentences in the present tense. I, Johan Stredat, or I, Miguel Bermudez, or whatever, right? Commit myself to eat healthier for the next 21 days. And then in a second line, that's point number two, you're going to write uh, in a form of an intention. Okay. Why are you going to do what you're going to do? Why are you going to eat healthier in the next 21 days? In other words, why is it important for you to eat healthier in the 21 days? Right? What is it that is going to help you to achieve that? Remember, yesterday we talked about rituals, we talked about routines. Okay. So, what is it that you're going to do every single day in the morning to connect physically, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally to make your challenge achievable? So, what rituals? What is it that, how are you going to connect? We're giving the example of that you're going to eat healthier, right? So, what kind of rituals can help you possibly to set up your mindset early in the morning so you're prepared and you can actually get to eat healthier the first day, the second day, the third day, and you know, so on until the 21st day. Uh, let me actually make a parenthesis here, right? You probably may ask, okay, but why 21 days? Why not 15 days, or why not 30 days? Okay, there is a scientific study that says that any new paths, any new neural paths that are built in the brain, or any new learning experiences in the learning curve, right? It takes approximately 21 days to 30 days to sink in your memories, right? So anything that you have, remember that your brain is repetitive, right? Your brain doesn't know the difference between right or wrong. But what it recognizes is that once you program your brain with something, right? When you feed it with something, it generates a habit, it generates a repetition. That's how our brain works. So, most of the neuroscientists that are focused on cognitive neuroscience, which is learning, right? What they have actually discovered is that precisely, those neural connections uh, gain activity or gain strength in electrical signaling and also in chemical interchange, right? When the memory or the exercise or whatever the learning experience takes, right, is repeated continuously, right, for 21 days. And here's the thing, right? Any habit that has been an old habit or a bad habit in the past, it's been the result of repetition, repetition, repetition. That's why it becomes an addiction, right? So you have to do exactly the same thing when you want to create a new habit, right? You need to do repetitions, repetitions, but they have to be consecutive. So in order for your brain to start signaling the same repetition, the healthier repetition of that new habit or that new style that you want to do, whatever it is, physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual, right? Your brain needs to get fed with repetition. You need to strengthen it. Okay. So for that, you need to get into rituals, right? Like, what are the things that, for instance, mentally I have done in order to be able to run every day, 2 miles. The first thing that I do is I tell to myself, I can do this. I can do this. The second thing, or the second affirmation, is I see myself as a runner and I visualize myself. I feel it in my heart, right? And I feel it when I mentalize it that I am running, but I'm not just simply running for the day. Remember that my biggest goal is to be able to run Ironman. And this is a very long-term goal. This is not something that I'm expecting to do in the next 6 months. I mean, I know that I need training. I just did a half marathon uh, last month, and it took me 7 weeks to train, right? So, I mean, for a marathon, for a full marathon, we're talking about like between 28 and 36 weeks. So imagine for a triathlon, right? So the same thing, but again, this is something that, I mean, it's a bigger dream. I'm taking small steps to get into that, right? But what I'm sharing here with you is the same scenario, the same process that you need to pass through, in order to change a habit, or in order to change whatever, of course, if you want it, right? Whatever it is that you want to transform in your life, you need to see clearly the step by step. That's why you need to write very clear. What do you want? Why do you want it? And why is it important to you? Okay. For me, running is important because I have this feeling of, first of all, liberation, self realization, and because not only it's one of my passions, but also because it gives me the sense that I am good enough. And this is something that I want to prove to myself, that whatever I put in my mind, whatever I think that I can do, if I think that I can run a triathlon, if I truly believe that I can run a triathlon, I'll make it happen. It doesn't matter if it takes me 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, but I'll make it happen, right? So that's why it's important to me. So all the time, when you are doing the 21-day challenges, you need to put intention. You need to be intentional in the sense as to why are you doing it, right? I mean, if you're doing it for, and hear me out, right? If you're doing something to change your habits in order to impress somebody else, in order to gain revenge, to prove to others that you are good enough, uh, you're never gonna get it, right? Because the 21-day challenges and the transformation is not for other people. It's for you. It's for you to find your authenticity. It's for you to find your inner self and your higher self, right? That's the secret behind transforming yourself and building yourself into a better version, so you can actually, help other people. But before you can help anybody else, you have to be able to do it to yourself. You have to help yourself, to prove to yourself that you are really good enough. And that's what it really matters. That's it. Right. Okay. So we talk about rituals. Yesterday, we talked about something, and I hope you had a chance to talk and to think about it, about, the thieves of your true self identity. Right? Remember, we talked about doing the not to do list, right? Get away from social media if you have to, get away from the phone, get away from um, TV, things that distract your attention and things that turn your attention away from the challenge. This is something that you have to be very aware. Now, one thing that helped me a lot with this precise 21-day challenge is I shared this challenge with two people. Okay. And I did that in order to set my mind for accountability. This is crucial, people. When you're doing a challenge, because of the fact that you are actually getting resistance, and you're going to get resistance, uh, it will work better if you set yourself accountable. You talk to someone about your plan. What is it that you're going to do? And once you have shared your plan with somebody else, right? You have to think also in what are the consequences for you not achieving your challenge. And not achieving your challenge, right, means that you're probably going to be losing something. So you have to be willing right at the beginning of the challenge, right, to set your mind, and this is something to activate and to play with it with your own ego, right? Um, I'm just going to go cold turkey on this one, right? The best way for you to set up accountability is when you involve some sort of money or something material that you like a lot, and that you are actually, that you will be willing to give away if you don't do your challenge. I'll explain this better to you. When I started my 21-day challenge, to finish my second draft of my book, right? I talked to the accountable person who I choose. I told her, if I don't, and I wrote it down in a piece of paper and I send it to her and say, if I don't finish this 21-day challenge, if I don't accomplish it, I'm going to pay you $500. Okay. And this person, she knows who he is, right? And also, what I did is I took another person from my family side and I told her, I am giving you some money for you to take care of that money, right? In advance, just to make sure that I commit to the challenge. I'm going to actually make a parenthesis here because I think I need to be honest with this, right? That was an exercise that I did with the person, right? That was precisely with my daughter. I did it. I sent her money. She got the money. I asked her, to return the money back for some last minute emergency that I had, right? But I gave my word to her that I was going to finish this challenge. And you're the witness, right, that I am finishing this challenge and I am getting through the 21-day challenge of finishing the second draft of this book, right? So I am actually making myself embarrassed publicly, right, for not accomplishing, in the case that I don't accomplish it. Of course, I mean, I know that I have already accomplished it because I am sharing this with you, right? But find yourself an accountable person who can help you, you know, and push you to get to the challenge. Why? Because your ego is going to trick you. Your ego is going to generate, is actually going to activate your mechanisms of defense, right, to prevent you from doing the things. I mean, one day you're going to wake up, right, and you're going to say, oh my god, today is raining, it's, I mean, it's awful, it's too cold, I'm not going to run, right? Or, in the case of, you're eating healthier, right? One day, believe me, you're going to find those potato chips that you like a lot, and your ego is going to say, dude, it's just one day, I mean, just take it, just grab the damn potato chip and eat it. I mean, it's not going to hurt you. And that's when your ego is going to attack you, and it's going to convince you, right, not to follow up and not to continue with the challenge. So you have to understand that resistance is coming, right, when you do these challenges. This is not easy, but it's doable. And I'm not telling you anything at all. There's no magic. I'm not telling you anything that doesn't come from reality. If you don't take action, right, nothing changes and nothing happens. It's as simple as that. All right. Um, there's another thing that you need to write, which is, what if I don't make it? What will be the consequence? If you promise yourself that you were going to eat healthier, but you don't actually achieve your 21 day of eating healthier, right? Like, let's say that the purpose or why eating healthier is important to you is because you want to lose, uh, I don't know, 30 pounds, 40 pounds. But what's going to happen if you don't lose, those 40 pounds? Maybe if you don't lose the 40 pounds, maybe you're not going to be able to fit in the dress that you want to wear for a big event. Or maybe, you're looking for a promotion on a job that requires physical strength, right? And if you have a little bit of extra weight on it, right, you're not going to be able to make it to that promotion. And believe it, it happens. I mean, there are jobs that require, physical strength. I'm just giving you an example. Or, um, you simply are not going to feel good about yourself. You're not going to be able to feel good about your self image. You're trying to eat healthier because you want to change your physical appearance, right? But what happens if you don't change your physical appearance? Maybe you will get into depression. Maybe you will feel sad. Maybe you will be more anxious. I don't know, whatever. Use your imagination because you know the answers of that, and your brain is going to tell you those answers, right? Now, the last portion that you need to write in that planning is, okay, once you finished the 21 day, right? How are you going to celebrate your success? Because you need to feed not only your ego, you need to convince your ego that what you did was good for you and it was good for your ego. And that's the way that your ego gets transformed, right? In such a way that it doesn't control you with defensive mechanisms of defense, right? But it helps you to build an ideal ego that works in your favor for your self respect and for your self love, right? What you actually transform when you're transforming, especially when you're transforming habits, what you're doing is you're transforming your controlling ego or the ego that controls you into an ego that becomes your friend. In other words, you control your emotions, you control your thoughts, you control your feelings, you control uh, everything actually that surrounds you, not in a way of, like power or something like that. I'm talking about, you learn to become the master, right, of your own inner self, of course, emotional and mental intelligence, right? So once you actually achieve that, what is it that you're gonna do to wow, to yeah, I made it. That's the way you have to feel at at the end. I was like, yes, I mean, I run 2 miles a day every day. This is something that I really wanted to do. It's good for my health, I mean, and now I have proof that because I exercise just half an hour a day, right? It doesn't matter at what time, but I feel much more lighter. And because of that, I feel healthier. And because of that, I'm able to do these videos. Do you understand? And I'm able to share my knowledge with you. So, and that makes me feel good. That makes me feel important. That makes me feel useful. You understand what I'm saying? So this is, whoa, good morning, Marcio. So this is something that you want to make sure that you actually do when you're doing the 21 day challenge, right? I mean, you have to be able to celebrate your victory. Okay. So again, in this portion, right, I don't expect you to be perfect. I'm just giving you tips so you can actually start doing your 21 day challenge, right? Remember, plan it. And just summarizing really quick. Number one, what is it that you're gonna write? Number one, what are you gonna write? Number two, you're gonna write your intention. Number three, what are your daily rituals? To make that intention and that challenge happen. In other words, how are you going to connect mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, right? In order to synchronize and take the action to make things happen, right? Number four, you have to do your not to do list of the things that you need to be aware of, getting away from your distracting zone. Number five, look for an accountable partner. Number six, write the what if it doesn't work, or if you don't accomplish the challenge, what will happen? What will be the consequence? And number seven, how are you going to celebrate? Simple. All right. This is the end of this series. However, let me tell you what's coming next. Okay. All these videos are being set in YouTube. Okay. You can watch them anytime you want. What I encourage you to do is grab a copy of the second draft of my book. And for that, all you have to do is just, visit my social media. You can actually go to my Instagram or to my Facebook, right? You're going to find all the information in my bio. My suggestion is go to um, brainenlightenmentjohan.com. That's my site. Or in Instagram, you can find me as Brain Enlightenment Johan. You're going to get into the bio and you're going to get my email, johan at brainenlightenmentjohan.com. Send me an email asking me for a copy of my second draft so you can start your hero's journey into awaken your spiritual neurons empire. Okay. One thing, last thing, I cannot thank you enough from the bottom of my heart and from my mind to all of you that have watched these videos, to your patience, of course, because I know that it takes patience, to watch these videos, especially when they're not um, like the best. But the message, I guess it was clear. So I want to thank you for your time. And I'm hoping, really, really hoping from the deepest of my heart that anything that I have shared with you has touched your heart, and that it truly helps you, to become a better version of yourself. All right. Be be bold. Write your new story. Okay. And if you need any help or any assistance, don't hesitate to contact me. I'm open for suggestions, for feedback, and I am also open for any help or any assistance that you may have. Thank you and have a wonderful day, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. God bless you.